Tom was the archetype of the high-performing professional. He was a senior software engineer earning $180,000 a year. He was analytical, organized, and motivated. The math of his life was simple. His income vastly exceeded his expenses. Saving $3,000 a month should have been effortless. But he wasn't saving anything. Tom tried every standard intervention. He set up automatic transfers, then disabled them 3 months later when his checking account ran low. He built complex spreadsheets with color-coded categories, then abandoned them because updating them felt dreadful. He tried no-spend challenges, white-knuckling through 3 weeks, only to binge spend $800 in a single weekend on cameras and shirts he didn't even want. Tom's internal narrative was brutal. I know exactly what I should do. I just can't do it. I have no discipline. But Tom didn't have a discipline problem. He had a diagnosis problem. He was trying to treat a root cause, an unexamined emotional relationship with money, by attacking a symptom, spending. He was fighting a war against himself, and he was losing. Welcome to the SafeSimpleSound podcast. I'm AI Alex. Today we're going to talk about why budgets fail and why you need to stop building constraints and start building a sanctuary. Tom's story is universal among high earners. Society teaches us that money management is simple math. Income minus expenses equals savings. If the equation doesn't work, we assume the variable to change is expenses, and the tool to change it is willpower. But willpower is a finite resource. It is a battery that drains throughout the day. When you rely on willpower to control spending, you are essentially holding your breath. You can do it for a minute, you can do it for a month, but eventually you have to exhale. When the budget fails, you don't just lose money, you lose trust in yourself. The shame of failure makes you want to look at your finances less, not more. This leads to avoidance, which leads to chaos, which leads to more stress, which leads to relief spending. It is a perfect self-reinforcing loop of defeat. Why does this happen? In engineering terms, traditional budgeting attempts to run high-performance software on a crashed operating system. You are trying to build a structure of constraint on a foundation of shame and anxiety. It violates Article 4 of our Constitution, sustainable excellence. A system must be energy-giving, not depleting. A budget that requires you to feel bad about yourself every time you open it will always collapse eventually. Most people feel stuck between two bad options when it comes to cash flow. Option A is the willpower trap. This is the strict budget. You categorize every latte, you set limits, you judge every transaction. This works for 3 weeks, then breaks under stress, leading to a binge. Option B is the ostrich effect. This is what happens when the budget fails. You stop looking. Take Sarah. Sarah was a successful architect managing millions at work, but at home she had a doom drawer full of unopened mail. She wasn't broke, she was avoidant. Every time she thought about money, her nervous system triggered a fight or flight response. So to protect herself, she engaged the ostrich effect. She simply didn't look. Neither of these works. Willpower leads to burnout, avoidance leads to chaos. There is a third way. It is not about restriction. It is not about ignoring reality. It is about building a financial sanctuary. A sanctuary is a containment dome for your financial life. It is a judgment-free psychological space where the goal shifts from fighting yourself to understanding why the behavior exists. How do you build this? You follow the principle of foundation-first architecture. Before you can optimize spending, you must be able to observe it. But you cannot observe a system that triggers panic or shame. Therefore, Phase 1 of the Sanctuary Protocol has a very strict rule: no budgeting. For the first 4 weeks, you are forbidden from trying to save money. You are forbidden from fixing anything. Your only job is to look. We call this building calm presence, or equanimity. Sarah had to treat her avoidance like a phobia. She used a protocol called Just Look. 3 times a week for 3 minutes. Minute 1, breathe and regulate the nervous system. Minute 2, open the banking app and stare at the balance. Minute 3, close it and decompress. The goal wasn't to pay the bill. The goal was to prove to her brain that looking at the number wouldn't kill her. The first week was excruciating. The second week was uncomfortable. By the third week, it was boring. And that is the victory. The monster in the dark is infinite. The monster in the light is just a math problem. If you skip this step, if you try to budget before you build safety, you will fail. You will be Tom, building complex spreadsheets that you abandon in February. You will be Sarah, letting unopened mail turn into tax liens because you are too afraid to look. You cannot optimize a system you refuse to monitor, and you cannot monitor a system that hurts you. But once you have safety, once you can look at your spending without flinching, you unlock the next level. You stop reacting and you start observing. Today, we talked about why budgets fail. They fail because they try to constrain behavior before establishing safety. We introduced phase 1, calm presence, the ability to look without flinching. But looking is just the start. Once you can look, you have to deal with the spending itself. What do you do when you are standing in the store about to buy something you don't need? What do you do when the urge to spend feels automatic? In the next episode, we'll give you phase 2 and phase 3. We'll teach you how to install a security camera in your mind to catch impulses in real time, and how to use time travel to find the root cause of why you spend. If you want the exact Just Look protocols and the 12-week plan right now, they are in my book, The Financial Sanctuary. But remember, the prerequisite for the sanctuary is the foundation. If you haven't read the foundation guide yet, get it for free at SafeSimpleSound.com/foundation. You need those capabilities before you can build the sanctuary. Stop hiding from your money. I'll see you in the next episode.